Azure Dreams Riders of the Sky tournament. I'm Lady Demi, and we will be watching Czaj versus Wugga's losers bracket match, the last before the finals. We have got the runners counted down, and they will be shortly underway. For those of you unfamiliar, this is Azure Dreams, a PlayStation 1 roguelike RPG. The runners will be climbing 40 floors of a no, not 40 floors, actually, because we're doing the second tower this tournament, which means 99 floors of procedurally generated towers. We're full of monsters, traps, and treasures. All the treasures will be unidentified, and the monsters will be randomly shuffled in among floors. They are off, so we'll have a fun time seeing what's in store today. They will have 2 hours to climb as far as they can, as fast as they can. Or 3 hours, technically. 2 hours is they have unlimited entries. On the third hour, it will just be a matter of climbing as far as they can, as fast as they can, on one single final climb. Among the other changes we have made, which are very few, because while the second tower is not normally accessible, it is still a part of the game as programmed. It's just sort of dummied out, and we have used our wonderful de-randomizing randomizer to open the door and stop having it be closed. But also, we have put in a barong on these first floor so that their inventories will have some slight randomization. They will have the same items as long as they have the same movements leading up to them. Because while the rest of the game is because the rest of the seeds are fixed, and therefore the treasures will be fixed. The barong works on a much looser code that goes thing to thing. That pillar ball that Wugga just picked up is probably not going to have a whole lot of charges because it was given very late into the runtime. Very late into the barong's MP, I should say. We're still very early to the runtime. We have also allowed them to fight Josh, which allows them to get in some early medicinal herbs and a chance at a wind crystal, which will be important if they want to re-enter with their items. Looks like Wugga has got it, and Czaj also got it, because they more or less had the same course factions. So now they will get back their HP before entering in to the second tower. A mysterious and delightful treasure indeed. Czaj does have an Olean fruit, which is thus far one of the only differences between their inventories, except of course that Wugga kept the Peter fruit. So that probably about explains it. That Olean might come in handy for Czaj. Oh, especially because this is a nasty sight to wake up to. That is an arachne. Those things can hit pretty hard, and Ko has, or rather, Kyun has an elemental disadvantage against it instead. Looks like Wugga is going for the bait and AI1 strat that we have started seeing as a strategy in this tournament. It takes a little bit of time, but is good for making a safe distance between a monster you can't reasonably fight and yourself. And it's a little bit less finicky compared to some of the other things, their forms of AI1 strat. But on the other hand, taking Arachne down 1 HP at a time, not a great idea, but also, yeah, that cuts through health real fast. Wugga going straight for the pillar ball. Chai, having made the distance, might be thinking about fighting that troll that will get that first level up and that tremendous 10 HP from it. But it looks like he is taking a moment to figure out what will be safe damage and what will not be. He has the little bit of added pressure of worrying about time, basically. The fact of the matter is, or turns more than time, I should say. Hey, that arachne is creeping up on him while that troll was diminishing his HP. Okay, that's at least a wand. It's not a good wand. It's a bad wand as wands go, but wands still do gain bonus damage to mixture magic. So it's better than nothing. Wugga, I think thinking, does he want to get EXP? What does he want to get EXP from while he waits? But I don't think it's a great idea to hang around trying to get EXP from deadly spiders. Okay, that is, while in some ways a fairly formidable obstacle, in other ways, mainly in it being wind type, not that formidable. It could be worse. For example, those spiders will still be here, probably. They shouldn't have cycled out just yet. Oh, griffins. That's worse. And the pillar ball is only had one charge to its name. We kind of expected that. How many spell charges a spell ball has when it's spit out by a Varog is dependent on its MP, and the MP of that Varog was very nearly used up. That was the last item it spit out on Wugga's side. And a Scarlet Wand. That is what they want to see in terms of wands. That will give them a healthy boost to damage that'll probably keep them on this run for much of the time, unless things get really bad. But if things get really bad, they have a wind crystal, so that should also be fine. Looks like there is a stealth here. This is not a terribly safe floor to just be palling around it. The main thing about stealths as a monster you can just sort of find on any floor is that it makes walking around with low HP difficult because they can just spawn in invisible. Obnoxious, frankly. Oh, that's a miss that they're gonna feel later. But with a Scarlet Wand, it's not too bad, really. That damage goes a long way. Looks like Chai will also be trying to bait one of the griffins out into a fight, while the other one gets to sleep in the room. That's pretty sensible. Yep. Looks like it's choosing not to fight and instead just gonna hang out. They deal some pretty hefty damage, particularly at this point where they have no good shield, or really no shield at all. Guy, going to have a little bit of a harder time on this floor. if only because he has yet to pick up the Scarlet Wand, and we'll see at which point he goes back for it. Okay. Going back for it now, he was just also adjusting his camera. Worth noting is that because all of the items are disguised, they will have to try them out with their faces. Oh, that's unfortunate. As is that, in fact. That is a lot of HP down the drain very quickly. Yeah, okay. Basically, yeah. Except for swords, thankfully, so Ko does not have to use the sword on himself to find out what it is. Yeah, that would go badly. So thankfully, you physically can't try spell balls on yourself, but you can try them on your monster. Though don't do that, that's a bad idea. So for spell balls, they will just have to identify what the animation for the spell ball is, or its effect on another monster if they happen to get it to hit another monster. Oh, this is an unpleasant room. This is a bad start to a floor on Wugga's side. 2 awake griffins, 1 awake mule. Rise snipe, that's gonna hurt. Also a clown, or death rather. They're the evolved form of a clown. It looks like everything unfortunately woke up before he could lose most of it in a corridor. There's the elevator. Does he... Yeah, he is deciding to just get out while the getting's good. That does mean he'll lose sight of that shield, but luck just was not with him. Oh, snowmen! This is a mean couple of first floors in terms of monsters. It's something when death is the kindest thing on a floor. Now we'll see how Chai handles that terrible starting run. Oh boy. Sandwiched between 2 snowmen. That's less than ideal. Let's see what Chai's approach to this room ultimately is going to be. If he takes the same actions, he will receive the same results, but in this case, he is taking control of Kyun and therefore avoiding the Rise Snipe. He still does not get out of there without everything else following him, unfortunately. It looks like he is kind of setting the AI so that he and Kyun will be walking side by side for as long as that's technically possible, but now he has a choice to make. Yeah, it looks like he'll eat a hit from the mule. We'll then pick up Kyun. Then, now what are you going to do, Chai? Fight the mule. Okay, that is... Okay, he is specifically fighting the mule a little bit, so that he loses at least one of the griffins. Or at least he was hoping to lose one of the griffins. Maybe even both of them, it looks like. If they don't turn around... Nope, it has turned around. This is still a very different approach. Meanwhile, Wugga is blazing through some of these first couple of floors because he just got out, but also like, yikes, that is another bad starting room. A snowman and a kid simultaneously. That's floor 8, but at the same time, Wugga's a little underleveled, and the monsters aren't going to be getting very much easier. Though, now we're on some pseudo-wind floors, it might not be so bad. A leather shield. That's gonna make Chai pretty happy. That is one of the best shields in the game. People debate about whether or not it's the best, but it's one of the best. It is a shield which lets you avoid damage sometimes. And that can come in pretty handy. Either way, Chai is getting the chance to explore this floor and stock up his inventory as a reward for not immediately going for the elevator. We'll see if the floor has anything else of particular value. An unknown fruit, that could be very good, or it could be not very good. Jarapita, that's pretty good. Pretty good. It immediately drops a monster's MP down to nothing, thus taking the monster pretty much out of the fight. That's not at all a bad thing to have as the reward for not rushing the elevator. That is a lot of action coming, not quite this way, but nearly this way. Metal. You don't see those very often. Well, specifically, you don't see them in the regular tower at all. They are the evolved form of blocks, which are perfectly valid for the second tower's randomization, but not the first. Noises aren't too formidable yet, but in the late game, if they appear on a later floor of the tower, they can be pretty dicey. They have some wild attack growth. Hello, hello! Our race has just gotten underway. We are about 17 minutes in. And Wugga has taken an early lead, but by doing so, avoided exploring a couple of floors. Or at least one of the floors that Chai has gotten a chance to explore for a leather shield and a Jarapita fruit. He is getting the chance to explore some of these later floors, and ooh, egg. That could be interesting. We at least know it could be a metal. That Viper is going to eat it. Vipers do eat eggs, that is a special little trait, and Chai is now finding those snowmen. You know, I say they're not very merry souls, but it's more that they're not souls who make you very merry. They themselves, I'm sure, are very merry indeed, as they beat your face in. The Viper gets breakfast. wasn't a tasty egg, but it was an exciting egg. I find eggs, they're always a fun thing. You never know what they'll be. Oh yeah, they have truth eggs. Viper isn't the most thrilling egg they could have found, but it does at least act as a better egg bomb. That's something. Just nothing terribly exciting. Ah, the Earth Shield. The shield that, like, it has a niche. It does. Many things in this game have a niche, but its niche is so tiny that, like, it's really more of a finger hold. You could maybe just wedge your fingers into the size of that niche, but nothing else. Good for rock climbing, at the very least, but maybe not tower climbing. The Viper ate his own young. It might be the young of a different Viper. This might be some competition in the egg-rearing scene. Eating the young of another rival Viper to ensure that only its eggs get to eat other eggs, I guess. True, it's the only Viper you've seen at the moment. Maybe it killed the other Viper to eat its egg. The tower's ecology is a thing much discussed in your little sister's monster book. Which is adorable, and like, if you want to see that, hey, this game has some random bits of lore stapled in there, it's there. I would recommend checking it out at some point. Oh, Ashras, that's bad. I would not like to be on this floor. Ashras being like Arachnes, but worse. And by worse, I mean better. But also worse. Yeah, this is a reasonable floor to nope out of. Is Chai going to explore it? He thought about it. He decided no. And that's very reasonable. Yeah, they are six-hand gods that one-shot you and your family. Your mom, your little sister, all of them. Your true nemesis is not Beldo, but the Ashras. Menacing spiders indeed. Got a good point there. They're so cute. Now, when I say that, do I mean the baby dragons, the baby goats, or the baby humans? And it's like, whatever. Take your pick. It'd be nice if this game had some baby goats. Boy, this is bad on Chai's side. This is the worst case scenario. And we might even have seen Chai like, wind crystal out of there. Luckily, he does not feel the need to. He is able to very carefully get out of that Zoo's paralysis before it's too late. But, like, yikes, that was dicey. This is why even monsters that normally that aren't always the most directly formidable, more stealths, can be pretty spooky. Also, looks like we saw Chai eating Kyun the Palumpa egg. They haven't found a replacement pita fruit yet. Yeah, Palumpa, I would say that Palumpa is a better fruit than a fruit, frankly. I would say if you have to choose between an egg and a pita fruit as a thing to take into the tower, pick the egg. It has more uses. The pita fruit does exactly one job. The egg can do several jobs. Oh, U-boats. Those are not pleasant things to be fighting here. Wugga debating that only fruit decides, yes, let's just get rid of this thing. Perfectly understandable. They deal some fairly Chai did not miss the exit. He just wants to see what else is available on this floor. Or his approach thus far has been more exploratory, more inclined to battle. No, and it's an approach that could very well serve him well. Though we'll see. He wants to try and get as good an inventory as he can. As anyone would in his situation, frankly. And this floor isn't too full of hazards. What are you thinking? Chai. Earth Shield. Earth Shield. Well, it's not cursed, so there might be a situation where it comes in handy, like this one. Because it has the earth element, water monsters deal less effective damage to it, and there's that Viper Egg. Elemental shields can save lives. They do have their places. The earth is just the one that is hardest to really use. Because any trap that damages you by surprise is going to be fire elemental. The spell that damages you from a distance is going to be fire elemental. So therefore, anything that can kill you when you're not expecting it is fire, pretty much. Chai did never see it get eaten. It was gone before he ever got there. That is a less than ideal situation. While the wee dog isn't the worst thing available on Wugga's side, it is coming that way, and fighting the U-boats does cost a decent chunk of health. That would be really handy, actually. Czaj is going to poke his nose into the rooms, but probably not explore them in a whole lot of depth given the number of unpleasant monsters that to fight coming his way, and he does need to put on a little bit of speed. The gap isn't terribly significant at this point and could very well go the other way if anything changes, but closing the gap in tournaments like this has been surprisingly valuable. Early leads thus far have been unbeaten, pretty much. Or very nearly unbeaten in the course of this tournament. That usually comes down to how many entries one takes the time for, pretty much. Garuda. Yeah. That's the thing, unless Garuda. But then with a seated tower, you can never be sure that your opponent did not also find the Garuda. A paralysis spell ball, that's a good one. Oh, sleep ball. That is another... These spell balls are very nice, gotta say. Yeah, the tower has been pretty generous in terms of spell balls and other inventory aids. They've gotten some of the best ones for getting out of fights, which ultimately is better than fighting fights for the most part. Also, ooh, Batnels, that is less than ideal. You know, as an opponent. They are pretty formidable. Luckily, he has identified that Thunder Ball. They are very good boys. Ooh, and that could be a mule egg. That would be pretty nice. Very handy as a backup monster, or even a main. And if he feels right. Though I think with that Scarlet Wand, he probably won't decide that that's what he wants to run with. With that fire, same type attack bonus is just very good. And looks like Czaj has to have a little bit of a merry dance with these U-boats. Yeah, that Earth Shield going to come in handy on Czaj's side. And when he elects to use it, he knows it's not cursed, so he doesn't have to deal with the negative effects. Oh, unfortunately a Larseed. Still, that even with an Earth Shield, that's still about a fifth of Czaj's HP per hit. Wild. U-boats do not mess around. One-fifth is better than a third. You are right. That is how math works. I'm just saying, that's still a lot. But with the Earth Shield, it becomes, this is a manageable fight, as opposed to, this is a nightmare. Well, when bomb traps trigger, I can wear the leather shield, like a sensible person. It is why he decided to check if the Earth Shield was cursed with his truth glasses before putting it on, because a cursed Earth Shield is a nightmare. Ooh, that could be a number for a fun prospect. We will have to see later. Yeah. It takes a little bit more time to equip and unequip it, but it does make a lot of fights much easier. Pardon me? Wugga making good use of the couple of light seeds he's found to fling them at the sabers before fighting them. Guy has very nearly caught up and still has a number of get-out-of-problems-free solutions in his bag, though he does not have all the spell balls identified. Okay, now what, Chai? He was debating using that looks like a sleeper before deciding Olean. There goes that Viper egg in. This has been a fairly MP recovery light seed, frankly. Not to be confused with all the light seeds. Chai, hoping to lose that Batnel in one of the rooms. Because fighting a Batnel is not fun. They can heal, they hit hard. Oh, also less than ideal, the blinder trap. He did a very good job of navigating out of that room, I gotta say. Now he is checking what we know to be some of these light seeds, I think. And they are both, yes, light seeds. Wugga has begun situationally using an ice shield. In about the same way Chai is using the earth shield, though the ice shield is a little bit safer for general use, but less safe for zoos. He, I think, does not want to risk it with the earth shield. Oof, that is a train on Chai's side of the screen. Oh no, that's her trouble. She's in danger. Yeah, wouldn't risk a cursed earth shield for 99 floors. That would not work. Looks like Wugga is thinking of hatching one of the eggs he's found. Meanwhile, Chai has to figure out how to get off of this floor safely, particularly while he is slowed by this trap. Luckily, that has finally stopped slowing him down. He is now free to move about the country. I have not seen any particular reason for excitement on Wugga's side, but he must be optimistic about this being something good. It's a mule! Hooray! He probably won't use it except maybe as an emergency medicinal pack. At least not unless something happens to Kuhn in the relatively near future. But it does have that use as an emergency medicinal pack. It's very easily to be refilled. Yeah, there's also the fusion for Watercoon, but with a Scarlet Wand, I don't think that's going to be high on his list of priorities. He would need a Stream Wand to make that especially appealing as an option. And yeah, this is a mean room on Wugga's side. He doesn't have a whole lot of good options. And he is unfortunately in a little bit of a corner. No one puts Baby in a corner, but you can put Wugga in a corner, apparently. He does have the Earth Shield, I suppose that is the truth. Still, I would also be a little bit nervous. Yeah, Binding Ball makes a lot of sense. And as a use to take something at the very least out, as is poison, so that everything in the room will slowly take damage as they sit in their respective sleeps and paralyses. Thus, when the time comes for him to be... Goodness gracious, that's going to be a lot of statuses applied to this battle. And, like, a lot of good statuses on Wugga's spell balls. Chai, I think, will have a lot of good news waiting for him once he figures out what his spell balls are. Oh, and more statuses, that's funny. There we go. By the time the first Saber woke up, Wugga was able to pretty much knock it out. That's very nice. He has done, at this point, everything to that poor Batman. Chai very nearly catching up. There is now only a 1-floor gap. And then we'll see how Chai deals with that room. Well, I don't think poisoned because Batnals are poison immune, if I'm not mistaken. It's their special trait. But blind, paralysis, and then death. That said, I think the real special trait of Batnals that makes them so delightful, besides that they have little boxing gloves, is that they eat pretty much any fruit, herb, or seed for a petafruit's worth of MP, thus making them pretty much instant refill. A medicinal herb with essentially free refills is nothing to sneeze at. And another egg. This has been an egg-heavy seed, and I like that. This is also true. Every monster becomes better when you like it. And I'm also going to say every monster becomes better when you know someone else in the community likes them in particular. It makes them a special treat. Then you can think warmly upon them and say, oh look, it's a Batno. Revan must be happy somewhere. Looks like the Batnal's gone. Or the mule is gone. Wugga decided was not terribly worth holding on to in that form. I'd probably hold on to it over a medicinal herb, I would say. Though he doesn't have any, he just has Hazak herbs. Why are you carrying around 2 Hazak herbs, Wugga? You don't need them. Wugga likes spider fusion, and there's also Wugga. I like a fairly wide variety of monsters, but I have a special little soft spot for Naplises. For that matter, also Batnals. Because mules evaded me as a child for all eternity. Yeah, Chai has been making good pace and is getting fairly close. The gap is now very small. And yet, that's a lot of damage with an Earth Shield at that. Now it's time for Chai to decide what he can do with his inventory. Batnals are really tough. They are the surprise nightmare. I did not see what those little things were. Okay. Looks like a paralysis herb found some good use. Now he has time to fight the sabers. Looks like Wugga gonna be hatching this egg again. Another egg. Seeing what is inside, if it is good, could it be a Garuda? We did see some Garudas, I think, at some point. Meanwhile, Chai having to decide what to do about both of the sabers. One of them has an Olim fruit. He did come into that with, I think, a few more things. But this is where I think his lack of identified spell balls is really coming in. Unfortunately, he hasn't used them. He hasn't wanted to. But also, you kind of have to, I think, use spell balls in situations where you might not want to. Where you don't have to, because if you have to and it goes wrong, that would be really bad. Wugga breaking off. Yeah, you can see why I thought about, like, maybe this would be... Maybe that could be, in fact, a Garuda, because we are on floors with Garudas now. Well, that is unfortunate. The camera turning is likely to see what is ahead. Well, we know this. Some people don't like it because it messes figuring out which direction things are and wasting frames, I guess, technically. Luckily, Chai is able to get back to his queue before anything in particular bad happens to it. At some point, though, I think Chai is going to need to start identifying his spell balls. He does not know the wealth of treasure he is sitting on here. Also, using Kyun as an early stealth detection system. Oh, that's a dragon? That's unfortunate. That's not something he really wants to be seeing there. Where is that Jarapita? Chai is more or less down to his spell balls in terms of resources, so this might be a good time to start identifying them. Ideally, while I would say maybe on these sabers, because like, they're stuck in a loop, they might not notice him from all angles. That makes them pretty easy to pick off. If he cares to do so. That's less than the ideal form of fruit, frankly. If you're wondering why I have a soft spot for them, mostly because they were the first really good monster I found as a kid. The doubled HP is nice, and I do like their funny little cranky old man faces. Cranky old man faces made of metal. But mostly those are the reasons. That's a big chunk of damage. Also, it's funny that on floor 20 we have a background suitable for floor 20. the background you would normally see on floor 20. That's funny. I don't have anything further to add to that thought. I just think it's, you know, neat. Yeah, there has been a noticeable lack of Brog thus far. Sometimes the second tower gets, I think, a little bit fixed in its idea of what monsters should be common in it. And this seems to vary from seed to seed. Ooh, flat scroll. That is a good scroll to know. Chai very nearly caught up. And Wugga identifying one of the spell balls. I will be right back, actually. And I'm back. Chai, still kind of dealing with those monsters from the start of the floor, thinking about how to get out of this one. It is a merry little loop that is unlikely to let him lose the monsters in a corner. Honestly, though, well, okay. If he's in a situation where he can fight them one at a time, I actually don't think it would be a problem. Sure, the dragon is formidable indeed, but they do have a scarlet wand, and that's pretty handy in situations such as this. Wugga is taking advantage of the flat scrolls. Oof. Yeah, this is the thing, just sort of walking along hoping they forget is difficult when both of them. That is not gonna be the bell you want. Now Chai is in a bit of a pickle. It's interesting to me that Chai will gamble on what spell ball to use, but not so much, or which bell to use, but not so much on using the spell balls, which, like, is a little bit screaming out to me as, oh, this is a bad room, it also has an egg. But Kraken. Guy really hopefully going to be able to get himself in order. He's spending a lot of time thinking about what to do here. He needs the opportunity to get Kyun out and just fight the flame. It's not that scary as things go. I say that, but that's almost a two-shot on Kyun, so maybe never mind. Maybe you shouldn't listen to me. Meanwhile, that is a bad time coming his way. Best avoided by just going the other direction. Meanwhile, Wugga has been taking a bit more of a gap because of all the time Chai has spent trying to get out from that dragon flame pair. He has a lot of very good spell balls if he only would check at them, and so that is screaming out for me. But such is the pain of knowing where everything is, of knowing what things are on one side but not the other. Or knowing things from one side but not the other. Those Napluses do have some astonishing HP. Oh, that's unlucky. Now it is time to figure out what to do. Yeah, okay, that's reasonable enough. Sure. Okay, fair enough, I guess. Just gonna pick that fruit up and put it down, huh? Yeah, there's a lack of sorting and also really a lack of, as noted, terribly thorough identification of a lot of things. The sorting probably makes it easy for him to identify which things were gotten when, and that at least has some advantages to its name, but also, this room. Oh, Kyun ran out of MP. It is time to start munching. They really have not had a whole lot of luck in finding MP restoring fruit, actually. The disadvantage of dealing with the Krakens this way is that they do reflect some forms of damage back. They have wands, and that's, you know, nothing to sneeze at. There we go, they have lost aggro from that Kraken. Now, Chai will get that egg. But we'll also probably first maybe use it to let the Viper. To lead the Viper on a merry dance. Oh, so funny that. The warp trap coming in handy rather than being unfortunate for a change. Chai's little game of keep away with the Viper does net that egg at the very least. Yeah, that's a useless stand. Floor 29 on Wugga's side. The gap has expanded to be about as big as it has ever been. At least in this match. Not insurmountable by any standards. If it was white, would he finally? That is the question. Would hope so anyway. Also, wow, look at that. Look at that party of Granoots. That is just a collection of angry buff Griffin Centaur men. Also an egg. Finally, a pita fruit. And now Wugga has to lead the entire collection. The flock, perhaps, of Granoots on a merry little chase. Wugga getting some great use out of this poison ball, I've gotta say. This is more or less the sort of situation it is made for. Now he just has to delicately tap all of them directly on their heads. Volcanoes are pretty tough cookies on their native floors, but not the toughest available cookie. I honestly do not want to think about what they're like with all that extra levels. Yeah, Wugga handled that very smoothly, using very few resources to get a lot of EXP. Yeah, on some otherwise very tough enemies. Very nicely done. A lot of the growing size of the gap just comes down to if you do not know what your resources are, do you even have them? Czaj is holding on to those spell balls, but it also means that he's going a little bit slower because he doesn't know he has these tools in his belt. We'll see how he handles the Room of Granoots when it comes up on his side in very short order. Wugga making it to floor 31. Normally, this is where we'd see Belbo, but not this time around. He is always asleep. He doesn't think you should be on this floor because he thinks he should be dead. As one of the flags It's related to unlocking the second tower's elevator seems to be linked to clearing the regular game. This seems to be a post-game that was never quite factored in. Looks like Wugga will be in a few seconds taking a small break, and so we'll be aware of that on his side. If you two would like a small break, I would recommend taking a moment to stretch, hydrate, etc. and so forth. What are you doing, Czaj? Okay, I think Czaj was just checking those tiles in case there was something that would interfere with his plan to lead to dance with the Viper in the pale moonlight. Actually, you know, I was going to ask where the lighting in the tower comes from, but then I remembered that the tower does have an answer to all of these things, and the answer is a wizard did it. The wizard thought that, like, it'd be a good idea for his dangerous tower, or that houses the ultimate egg, to include good lighting, but no safety rails. Also, yipes, that's a lot of damage. Czaj, going to have to be careful until he can get that HP back on Kuhn. Because, ooh, that is a party coming his way. It's not a good party. He really would like to avoid getting caught out by this flame, but that's going to be a little bit difficult if he wants to avoid both the flame and the Viper. Difficult, but manageable enough. But yeah, every monster in the world just came at him from the other end of that tunnel. Threading the needle very delicately. That is the sort of fine-tuned motor work that is just completely wasted on me. I have very little ability to visualize how multiple things will move simultaneously. It's obnoxious. And therefore, I envy this ability of our finer runners like Czaj and also like Wugga immensely. Looks like Czaj is just going to keep walking. This will help him close a bit of this gap. He is now on floor 29 to Wugga's 31. And now we are in the Hall of Granoots. Czaj taking a long moment to try and figure out what he can even do here. Because the answer is surprisingly little. He doesn't know about the poison ball, he doesn't know about the paralysis ball, he doesn't know about the sleep ball, he doesn't know about the blinder ball. He has so many spell balls that would be very useful, but it's going to hurt him a lot that he has no clue about any of them. Luckily, he actually manages to lose most of them at the intersection. That is him lucking out supremely. And everybody misses a round of attacks. 45 damage. Yipe, yipe, yipe. And all he has that he knows of is a fireball. His lack of spell ball knowledge really is hurting him. He has to start identifying something. Be careful, be careful. There is an egg underneath that Granoot. But does he want to face that down? Is he oh, he might try and test out his spell balls on that Renewed. He is. Now he knows that is a sleep ball. Oof. A little bit of a misplay by Wugga, walking right into that Mana Weaver. Now he knows that he has the resources to deal with at least one problem. Oh, this poor Renewed is going to have every status, isn't he? Yep. He has been sitting on these long enough. Any other statuses you want to hit that poor Renewed with, Chai? No, he's going to keep going with just those two. Those are pretty good spells to have identified. Oh! What did he identify with that, with those truth glasses? I did not see it, and I don't see it on the thing either. That's unfortunate. Looks like, though, another blinder ball. That'll come in pretty handy. Their inventories are very generously stocked at this point. Nope. Chai was hoping to get Kyun to go and stand and fight this Wyvern, but it did not what he wanted. Not what Kyun wanted to do. This is why Kyun gets called bad names. And another egg. This has been an egg bonanza in the second tower. I didn't see anti-chaos herb. It is a niche item. I'm going to look around a little bit. Yep, that is the way Wugga wanted this to go, I think. Oh no, one of the blinder balls got stolen in the one moment he was not carefully defending against the picket. What both of them need to be most thinking about. Well, both of them need to be most thinking about survival. Chai, I think, maybe really needs to start putting out some speed. Wugga can go very fast when he wants to, and this is a prime case of wanting to. While Chai's methodical approach might keep him safer in the long run, if it never comes to a point where Wugga has to exit, that's going to end up paying dividends. Yeah, I can't blame Chai for the paranoia either. I get so nervous when I see all of those gold coins. piled on top of each other. Yep, that's what he was paranoid about. Luckily, Chai is being able to close the gap a little bit. Meanwhile, I will be right back. We're back. Chai making his way onto floor 34 with Wugga just 3 floors ahead. That has been about the size of the difference between them for a lot of this run. Oof. Those blocks do diff out a pretty hefty dose of damage. And there goes a slam trap. That is the sort of reason why you don't want to be dealing with certain kinds of shields at certain points. Oh, Wugga using the full distance of the hallway to get that Ifrit out of the situation while he is slowed. Yeah, the floor difference has mostly been about that early floor Wugga rushed the elevator on. I would say maybe, while that's technically true, I would also probably be looking at for some of the situations where Chai took a slower approach on a couple of fights. Which was also just an approach. I think if either one of those had been a little bit different, that gap would not be there. But it's maintained with, I would say, a decent bit of consistency. Chai does occasionally speed up. Now, would he recognize that spell ball by its animation? I think so. And he is deciding to ditch it for the egg. We see Wugga going on up. This is a lovely, consistent little pace here. And still getting some good use out of that poison ball. Oh, Chai looks like he might be thinking of hatching that egg. That's an interesting one. Don't remember what that one is up. Okay, that makes sense. He just got that egg. What is he hoping it could be? It could be, we've seen balloons, we've seen pickets. Yeah, he does like a picket fusion. He has enough eggs to make that work if he wants to. And it is a picket. Will Shawnee get to see his favorite monster get used? Now, what is this going to be? And okay. Balloon has an ability that's useful in a very specific context. It takes you up a floor, but it can only go as high as its own level is. Garudas are the ones with the powerful warping. Chai has decided that Kyun needs to go faster. Yeah, balloons would be busted if it weren't for the level requirement. This was an oversight the developers did think of. The Garuda, not so much. We're getting up to what would, in normal gameplay, be the end of the game. But here, we're gonna have some special fun times. Climbing a tower that gets more and more dangerous all the time. Oh, hey, maximums. These are at least appropriate for the floor Wugga is on, but not ideal. Like Chai will be hoping to know something about this particular item. Meanwhile, Wugga also just kind of carrying a scroll over his head. I probably didn't just throw Mer personally. I don't think it's going to do you that much good. And it is an alchemic scroll. Good to identify that on a floor he's not going to be staying on. And now he knows that that scroll, whatever it is not an alchemic scroll. It's just a decurse scroll. Which now means that he is almost out of useless scrolls. And 40. Game quit. No, not this time. Given that there are only 3 bells and we have 2 of them identified, no Beldo on floor 40. This could be a holy bell. Chai is probably pretty psyched about this. He just has to, yeah, he is committing with about a half hour left to go. That makes a lot of sense. Well, a half hour of re-entries left to go. Yep, our princess is, yeah, he used the malicious spell. He has the other one. He knows what this is. Floor 37. That's just a repel ball. Oh, that could be disastrous. Except, of course, he has a familiar bell, so there we go. That is the niche of that spell ball of that bell fulfilled. He's disturbing the Naples' nap. That's rude. Yeah, the fam, when the fam is there for you, you know you're gonna be okay. Now why did you do that, Czaj? Okay, because he had misidentified it earlier based on the ambiguity of things. That makes sense. Okay, that's a dragon in his face. It'd be interesting if you could give yourself an element temporarily with the elemental seeds. I don't know how much good that would do you, but probably not a lot, honestly. But it's something I'm thinking about all of a sudden. Also, man, more Battle and kids and different. This is a mean little section here on Wugga's side. Luckily, they haven't all ganged up on him, so that is one advantage. Okay, Wugga identifying a fantastic scroll in order to identify, and more opportunities to poison things. Czaj sees this room and decides to keep moving. Perfectly understandable, really. And we do see, for a minute there, the picket effects on Czaj's Kyun, dealing 2 hits on a single use of an AI-1 manipulation. That's pretty handy. That's weird. Oh, that's a trap scroll, that's what that is. I had forgotten about those. Yeah, even though that's, you know, a not terrible chunk of damage given the HP scaling, it's still, relatively speaking, that'll Well, that does it. That is the power of pickets. The main thing to worry about will be keeping Kuhn's MP up, but Chai has enough eggs. So, a nice background. It's not my favorite, I don't think, but it's nice. I like a little architectural detailing. Now Kuhn can move 4 times Chai's speed. For a little window there. They have both now cleared the heights of the Vanilla Tower and are now on to stranger things yet. And oof, this is not an ideal place for a trap room, though at least Chai has the advantage of both the Ifrit being confused and the picket's double speed. In on Kuhn. That's the picket fusion doing some work. And more eggs. Wugga pulling ahead a bit more than usual, than has been usual for this race. A full 6 floors ahead. That isn't impossible, particularly if Chai to make up. Particularly if Chai takes these floors quickly, or Wugga slowly. Blamio! Interesting choice, but I think that would make sense if those are the commonalities. I frankly would not have the span of memory for that. $80-something damage. Monsters on high floors are insane, frankly. $47. Now he's really checking to make sure that that egg really is a flame or not. Meanwhile, though, I see someone was checking the Azure command in chat. Let me go and get out the server invite, because that is what is available. Oh, there we go. Shawnee has it covered for me. Thank you, Shawnee. So many eggs. So many eggs. So many eggs, so much time. Oh wow, so many of those are Pullen eggs, which I'm assuming he has confirmed through some means, but it looks like we are now feeding eggs to Kuhn for MP purposes. Also sensible. Yep, okay, now they have both identified the Holy Scroll, well, as such for future Holy Scroll purposes, which aren't very common, honestly. Unfortunately, we have not seen a lot of them this race. Is that the end of the... Man, that initial spell ball has lasted 47 floors. That's very cool of it. Czaj, having to proceed a little bit lightly, there are battles on this floor, and they can deal scary amounts of damage. Yeah, power of the Scarlet Wand does mean that fireballs are a little bit less necessary. Wugga tossing that Arachne away so that it has the distance chance of waking up as opposed to the close-up chance of waking up. $43 on Czaj's side, 48 on Wugga's at about the same time. Czaj looks like he is going to take advantage of this elevator train. At this point, exploring when he might not need to. Probably less than an ideal situation, and he knows that. And his inventory is very good. And monsters are scary things to fight and will take some doing. I mean, regardless of really what sort of monsters they are. This is not the greatest time to be blinded, but luckily he can get out of that before anything comes to get him. 45, we've seen the gap closing just a little bit now. Now back down to the 3 or so floors of earlier points. This does put Czaj in striking distance. Columba's at this phase must be a boon. Wugga, seeing just how much HP those blooms have, it's a lot. They are one of the most HP heavy monsters in the game if you look at their sort of overall curve. Yeah, that's a malicious roll. That's what that is. Wugga getting a little bit of EXP off of that Dreamin'. Ooh, this is a nasty room. Luckily, he's not too far from the entrance. He is able to make escaping work. That is what happens when you reach the item cap on a floor. Items just start vanishing. Unfortunately, almost all those items are completely worthless gold coins. It's obnoxious. Like he's finding some pretty handy items, getting some MP back on Kuhn. That's going to be important to keep an eye on. And ooh, a go up trap. That is a nice one. That's gonna launch him up to 51. We are coming up on the 2-hour mark now, very close to when they will reach their final run, just as things are getting their most dangerous. And Wugga getting an elevator train. If Chai decides to explore, this could really put some danger in him. And I don't think Chai is necessarily feeling like he's in a hurry here. He probably needs to, but I think he figures he is at his safest if he takes it at his own point. I don't know if he has hit floor 99 yet or not. I'm trying to decide what to do about this spider coming his way. He can fight it, he might not want to. That water spell ball does increase Kuhn's defense against that Granute pretty mightily. Yeah, that just does nothing. It's delightful. Yeah, the MP usage that Chai is just burning through Kuhn's MP. That is the disadvantage of a Picket fusion. Pickets themselves have some things to mitigate that. Unfortunately, Pickets themselves also don't have, like, great attack. You know what would be a really good monster? Picket Batnel. With the Batnel being the one that makes it through the other side. Then you get all the advantages of, say, of the Batnel, but also with the double hits of the Picket. Also Picket Dragon, naturally. You know, while you're daydreaming about it. With the Picket being the inheritor, you probably want something that would give him a good spell, I would say, more than necessarily attack, because Picket attack. Wugga just breaking free. 54. Star glasses can be pretty handy for some quick floors. But the inventory Chai has is really solid. The thing about Chai is that he can keep up this pace, I think, all day. But Wugga is just so good at going fast when he gets it some fast going. Here's 49. On this side. Wugga is finding the elevator up to 55 in a situation where he no longer has to worry about, like, escaping that U-boat, because there is the elevator. Oh, there are Garudas on this floor, and U-boats. If there was an egg here, that would just be the ideal scenario, basically. That's 50 on Chai's side, ending up in this terrible, terrible room. Yeah, he is managing to dodge most of that. He is going to do a little bit of fighting against the Arachnes, though at this stage, I am just a little unsure about how useful that sort of AI-1 strats with an Arachne as the target really is in terms of time effectiveness, but it's not bad. It does get the job done. More spell balls on Wugga's side. This has been absolutely mad for them. 56. Oh, there's a dragon in his face. Everyone's invited. And now the dragon joins the party. Even one of those attacks missing is not ideal. You have to maneuver a bit more carefully if one is hoping to really use some AI-1 strats here. When you're in that close a sequence with a monster. Looks like he is planning on using the Arachne to turn the Mandara around. Monsters do that, and I never quite understand why. Ooh, that would be very handy on Chai's side, but he is not going to take it. Yet he is too satisfied with his inventory, I think. And can't blame him, these inventories are absolutely stacked. I'd probably ditch the seed if I were on Chai's side, but that's just me. Just my personal taste. Chai really cannot afford the exploration at this point. Though, understandably, does not entirely know that. Except I think he might have used a CC on himself before, but maybe I'm thinking of Wugga, who did identify the CC. I know he's identified white seeds. And there's a flat scroll, so now it is just a matter of maybe he knows what it is, maybe he is hoping, maybe he is waiting for a stream wand. Water strats are good strats. And yeah, that big pita fruit comes in mighty handy. Tune is just bleeding MP. Luckily he does have all of those eggs to keep him afloat. Yeah, that's gonna be a hard one to get out. None of the rooms are really big enough to necessarily automatically lose the U-boat in, and so now it's gonna be a matter of hoping that they can keep the U-boat dance up, but that's going to take a bit of time. Yeah, standing and delivering versus that U-boat is, oh man, that was weird. Oh, now I see. I see the situation. Yeah, okay, carry on. Chai is using the picket fusion to really have control over the situation in a significant way. He's standing and fighting here. I'm not sure I would, though. I think I would probably want to just, like, sleep the grenade, because that's gonna happen. Gonna need to be a little careful here, Chai. Because, yeah, that U-boat's here. And now you're stuck dealing with this particular problem. This is what makes Chai a scary opponent. He will think about things you have not. He has made damage calculators. He has made the state display. He knows this game's programming very well in terms of what manipulations are possible and which are not. In some ways, against Wugga, we have kind of a rather opposite match, I would say, in that Wugga, while certainly no stranger to good manipulations, etc., is, I would say, at his best when he gets to go all out pell-mell, where Chai is a little bit allergic to pell-mell. With Azure Dreams, either of those approaches could be the correct approach on any given day. And that is part of what makes it a very fun match. He is scanning every inch of these hallways as he looks around and tries to figure out which directions he needs to be going, which directions it's safe to be exploring in, what monsters he should be fighting, what monsters he should not be fighting. Is anything coming in any direction while he is making any of these decisions? There's a lot going on there. Yeah, he is. What is he looking for? What is he thinking about? Ah, the grenade, okay. Deciding to sleep it while it's in a doorway so that he knows where it is and also probably gets to kill it. We are coming up to the 2-hour mark. Probably when Wugga comes back, we will be at the point where they are both on their final climb, which is still their only climb in this tower. Oh, there are so many U-boats. This is a minefield. There's that Holy Bell usage. Let's see if he can get a clear space to get out of that room in. He'd rather stay behind the U-boat and know where it's going than not, which is a pretty sensible decision. Unfortunately, this only gets him out of one U-boat, when he needs to be out of many U-boats. Honestly, that is so scary to be finding on a floor like this. And there are two U-boats going in opposite directions. He needs a way to get quickly out of this situation. Quickly off of this floor. Or he doesn't really have one. He has ways of avoiding damage and ways of avoiding fights that are interesting. But not ways to just quickly get to the elevator. Meanwhile, Wugga on floor 60. And now he has to deal with the glaciers. Oops. And he is out of that blinder ball. Had to take that hit. Cannot take another one. That probably did not play out the way Chai wanted it to. Because Kyun just went back to his AI position. Yeah, U-boat dancing is, I would say, at least more complex with Pickett. He's having to use another Holy Bell to get just away from these U-boats. They are nasty businesses, and we have crossed the 2-hour mark. Avoiding this nasty stuff is life or death, and he has to get off this floor. All comes down to this. Oh dear. Hey, so, what we have here, Chai says, is a bit of a soft lock. It will recover, though, which is good, because the 2-hour mark has passed. Oh, he will sadly be stuck in place for a little bit. He does recover, though. No, glad for him that all worked out half as well as it did. My dog is now hopeful that softlock means we get to go now, right? He says. No, Theo, softlock does not mean we get to go. I will pay pet tax in the Azure Dreams Discord later for the crime of informing you all my cute dog. Okay, U-boats. I know that if I get up to bring him back to the bed, he will just go, this means playtime, right? And try running down the hallway as he does. In the meanwhile, Chai, this floor has just given him no luck and let him catch no breaks. What is he going to do about this? He needs to pick something, basically. I think he's just going to have to hope that he can take a hit off of a U-boat, then use a spell ball or something on it. This floor has just destroyed him. he is now almost 10 floors behind, and I doubt he'll make it up. He now has to, he now has to take that hit, do something about it. Blast his way through the Garuda. That might be the U-boat dance solution, is to position that in front of Ko. Now he has to figure out what he's doing. He can't take another hit like that, which makes the U-boat dance, I think he might have just burned his shot there. I think he might have just burnt his shot, unfortunately. Okay. This is something. But it's not letting him get... That was so dope. This is why Czaj is such a scary opponent. The situation that is, to you and I, hopeless, is to him, he knows what to do. Looks like he's going to try and use Kuhn to bait some of these guys maybe away. Nope. Czaj would love this acid rain ball. He would also love to get off of this floor. He has now created just a little bit of distance. Since for himself, that is very good. He now just needs to figure out how to get to the elevator when everything is against him. Meanwhile, Wugga's fantastic climb has gone unabated, and he has made it to floor 64, a full 10 floors ahead. And now there's more U-boats. There's always more U-boats, Czaj. I'm sorry to say it. There's always more U-boats. There is at last the elevator. At long, long last. His escape. Yeah, that is a good question. Though, to be honest, I don't think that the Picket fusion was the problem here. The problem was that he just went the wrong way for the elevator and then could never get it. By comparison, the Picket fusion really just let him survive that in some ways. But yeah, he must feel so behind. I would feel so behind. But maybe he thinks that Wugga might not have survived that floor, but I think Wugga had no problem because he just went another direction and found the elevator so much sooner. And it's more Picket dancing o'clock. Oh no! That was not the way that should have gone, Czaj. I'm so sorry. Now what do you do? I very much thought that Kuhn was gonna eat that one. Or was not going to eat that one, depending on whether or not you define eating it as eating the dust or eating the attack. That spell ball might come in handy at the very least. That's a boon, but... Yeah. Now he has to cover so much ground in so little time. Well, to be more specific, I would say time probably has nothing to do with what Czaj needs here. But wrong. Czaj needs to not fall victim to this. That's step one. And he loves barongs so much. He will play with a barong all day and all night and will play on a barong floor forever. And here he needs to resist. That said, things like a water crystal would come in very much handy. He just... Really, at this point, he needs something bad to happen to Wugga. Something as bad as what happened to him last floor, or worse. He needs Wugga to be sent home in a body bag. Which is a scenario that could really happen at any time on these super high floors. Just the question is, but Wugga can stave that off about as long as anyone can stave that off. And awkward silence for the no music glitch. Wugga using the Palumpa rings to get rid of the Palumpa rings. Let us see what else could be up ahead, I suppose. Palumpa floors, I think, are a lovely little reprieve by comparison with the everything else. Also, I love how, like, poison can now deal 70-something damage or whatever. Though I think in that case that was probably the attacks and not the poison itself, but like 100 damage. These numbers are getting silly, folks. It's very close. Or rather, was further away and now it's not especially close. There's like a 10-floor gap. It's not insurmountable, and in comparison with other races in this tournament, it's not insurmountable, but it's not exactly close either. Chai has to either seriously book it, or have a disaster await Wugga, or both. Chai can fight if he wants to, but I think he would be better served by making the executive decision not to fight and just go to the elevator, Chai. You don't need to think about this one that far. You really don't. Just step onto the elevator and leave. Okay, he probably did not want to eat that Bloom's attack, and fair and reasonable. Also, like, Chai just hit a really bad floor a couple of floors back, and that's gonna be hard to recover from. Now that noise on the earlier floors would be a joke, but here, noise has become a lethal joke character. A glass cannon, a menace of a very specific type. Now, is that an internet issue? Or is that so much, or are we now in the situation where we're in so much EXP that the game starts hanging a little bit? Because that could be bad. Okay, there we go. Probably just an internet thing. I should remember to check the timer when that happens. Pi more or less fights everything, which is good in that it lets him continue to fight things. And bad in that it allows him to be a little... in that it slows him down when avoiding fights is pretty much almost always faster than not avoiding fights. Particularly if the number of fights continues stacking indefinitely. Now, which way to the elevator? Yep, that is a tyrant in a pretty much a dead end, so that's a tyrant that we're never gonna see again. Wugga unfortunately finding the elevator up to floor 70 at about the same time as Chai goes to floor 60. That is a beautifully, like, semi-synchronization of just what the gap is. Luckily, Kyun does not trigger the aggro of the glacier the way Chai himself would in this scenario. Yeah, he's still, I think, looking for a Stream Wand in case he can make Kyun into Water Kyun. Which would be, I think, a somewhat more formidable situation, especially with all these spell balls. Malicious Scroll could be handy, particularly because you have something like a Roemer still just sitting there in your inventory. Oops, this is not a good spot to be in if you are Chai. I would probably, Jiro, wait until the Batnal is out of that one-tile hallway and sleep, Jerapita, something like that. Just use a resource, get past him, hope he doesn't wake back up. He wakes back up. Now might be a good time for the Jerapita. Nope, he is not going to stay asleep. But at least he stays paralyzed for a minute. Yeah, that's like no damage. Going to need to let him catch up, delay, create distance. Unfortunately, there's a glacier up ahead. And this is still a one-tile hallway. This is kind of the nightmare scenario if you're Chai. I might use maybe an egg bomb? Maybe a malicious scroll? Maybe an egg bomb and then a malicious scroll. Because I think there's no getting around that glacier here. Yeah, Jero, I think the problem with that is that the Batnal is still right behind. Yeah, that is the problem with that plan. He can kind of only deal with one enemy at a time. But I think right now he is figuring out which enemy that is. Which enemy should he be dealing with here? Yeah. He's backing Kyun. That is a reckless decision, I think. Now he is using a Jerapita Now this gives him the time and space to take out Kuhn, and will probably take him out from there, with the hallway nicely blocked off. Okay. Yeah, that's a decent chunk of damage, but not impossible, and he can survive this if he's careful. Okay, I would honestly just leave that there. Block off the hallway, whatever. But level ups are also fine. And now we keep walking. Directly towards another battle. Malicious Scroll will probably do the trick here. He just has to be very careful about the maneuvering. And, pray, I guess. Yeah, look, I think at a certain point, waiting for a perfect opportunity is not going to work here. And now he has found out that that sleep ball he has been using is done for. Meanwhile, Wugga has continued his climb. He is up to floor 73. Yeah. He still has blinder, he does not know that. And that would be what he was really wanting that malicious scroll to work like. It did not pan out that way. Okay, this is where you just leave. Just leave. Yep. Chai fused with Pickett a while back. This has mostly paid dividends, but though it has also eaten into a lot of MP usage. Oh, this could be bad depending on when Wugga gets freed. He is very fortunate that he does still have 3 eggs. That is at least the advantage of this particular tower climb, is that it has been so rich in eggs. Like, Chai's Kuhn is a formidable fella. Oh boy, more U-boats. That's not going to be fun when Chai gets there. It might not be fun for Wugga here. And another barong. Now we finally have all the barongs when it's very late in the match. Which is funny. At this point, barong shuffling is often more about using up their MP than necessary items. Their item stacks are very good still. Yeah, but like, even at his best, Kuhn is dealing in some cases so little damage directly that I think the effectiveness of the picket is gonna wear a little bit thin. Except as a distancing tool, but right now, Chai still has to figure out how to get out of this situation. Okay, Tumna fruit, and then space the rest of them with the picket, with Kyun. That works out reasonably well. But it does mean that he's mostly doubling back. That is a misplay that might end up costing him somewhat. Not a whole lot though, with the water. Look at how, by the way, how beefy dragons are. Even with the water protection, they're still dealing 9 damage, which isn't a lot comparatively. But like, with water protection, it's kind of a lot. When even just a little while ago, monsters were dealing 1 damage. And now there's, of course, the zoo, who is a much easier prospect to fight than the dragon. But only while it's only a zoo. Yeah, that dragon looks at Kyun like a normal picket looks at Ko. But with any luck, Chai should be able to stay out of the dragon's aggro range. Wugga is still blazing along, 78. Odds are pretty decent. We could see a full clear of the second tower yet again, folks. Oof. That's a chunky hit. Yeah, 35 minutes for 20 floors, easily possible. Particularly because we are talking about Wugga. And there goes collar jacking, but luckily this means that other monsters will pursue the Palumpa rather than dealing with Ko. But it does also mean he needs to keep track of that Palumpa so that way it doesn't just run away with his Kyun. Yeah, remember that, Chai? Remember that part? But luckily, he does have the blue collar, because otherwise it would not be accessible. Unfortunately, this is a bad area that Chai is stuck in. Olim, I would Olim. By the way, let's see, I will scroll up for where Shawnee had the Discord invite. Right, for anyone wanting to check out this community, the second tower, more races, or the remainder of the tournament, here is the Discord link. be sure to follow our runners and, you know, think about it. If you like hearing my voice. Oh, come on. That's whoever was commentating last. Well, you just saw my name in chat. You can follow me if you care to. Meanwhile, Wugga putting up several ice rock balls to hopefully deal with these guys safely. Meanwhile, floor 80 on Wugga's side. That is sure something. Yeah, Wugga has his camera zoomed in order to just not deal with the ice rock ball's health bar. Oh, that looks like it is a sleep herb, which is a pretty nice herb to have found. And there's an acid rain ball. And now we have a floor of awkward silence. So, how about that local sports team? Actually, well, okay, I know that there's mule racing in the Azure Dreams universe. What other sport? Well, and there's bowling. We know about bowling. What other sports do you think Azure Dreams has in its universe? I mean, I assume that they can use those little monsters that look like balls for just, like, whatever. But since they also provide electricity, could you come up with some sort of exotic soccer, like an electric soccer? Or where a circuit soccer, how does that sound? Cune also can be used as a ball with lovely yellow stripes. I imagine novelty toy balls must be very popular. Designed to look like various circular monsters. Okay, now Chai. Chai. Remember where and when you are, Chai. Remember. A holy sword, that's cute. You have forgotten. Well, Chai probably will not remember, but okay. Oh, that was almost disastrous. Leather shield does a work, though. But yes, Cune can be used as a ball for, like, any novelty sport purposes. I think that's most of the particular monster novelty sports I can think of. Who knows, though? Maybe there's room for, like, more aggressive, I wonder, with balloons, could you do, like, some sort of death hot air balloon race? Probably you would not want to. That sounds like a terrible idea now that I've said it out loud. But you could. And there's a stream wand, but probably past the point where Wugga really cares all that much. He's thinking about it though, just in case. Really, Wugga? Really, Wugga? Now see, even though I like a water strat, I feel like at this stage, would that even be worth it? Looks like he decides no. Because he's on floor 86. The number of things he can reasonably hope to fight has gotten probably pretty low. Not colossally low, just reasonably low. There is a golem. I would personally just use a spell ball charge, but that is just me. Yeah, there we go. Slow seed might as well be worth carrying around in case you need it. Now we just keep going. Wugga preemptively using the blind ball just in case the dragon decides it would want to be trouble. And since dragons can snipe from across the room, it's pretty reasonable to preempt that. Ah, noises. The deadliest of monsters now. You know, except for the part where they're still noticeably weak to certain problems. Like fire. Ooh, that's got to feel handy. Yep. Wugga getting some great use of that water spell ball. He has done a very good job showing off some of the lesser used spell balls in their appropriate niches. Casually level 54, yeah? Yeah. Still probably massively under level. Well, the level scaling in the second tower, the EXP totals in the second tower, absolutely bonkers. Ooh, there is an acid rain ball. Oh, on Chai's side. Going to need to decide what he is interested in having and what he is interested in putting away. And that only restores 10 MP. That is kind of impressive. To just use it, might as well. You know, I'm not entirely sure how long the water ball effect lasts. It lasts a bit, at the very least. I'm not even sure that it lets you know, which is unfortunate. It does last a while, though. Yep, Chai is a little too busy to answer this sort of question. He knows the numbers, though. Wugga going to make it to floor 88 in just a moment. Which makes this amount to a fairly big gap. 89. Do not trust. Oh wait, they're not right next to each other, are they? Okay, carry on. Wugga probably could have gotten away without having to use that sleep charge, but I think he probably did not want to test whether or not there was a trap that could have, for example, paralyzed him until the saber beat his face in. The water spell ball can be very handy at times. It's not a top-tier spell ball, but it's not a completely worthless spell ball, or at least it's not a spell ball that has vanishingly few uses in terms of functionality, not in terms of charges. Like, if I'm strapped for inventory space, it probably doesn't stick around. Oh, it's funny seeing balloons with a background where you'd see balloons. But, like, on a floor that should not be. And Wugga making it into the 90s. Floor 91. Only a little ways left to go. Floor 92, the elevator doing him a service here. Yeah, over the 20 floor gap. Once Wugga gets going, he gets going fast. As he holds nothing back. So he can kind of blaze through a lot of situations. Also, Egg Bomb. It unfortunately just uses low down. That's obnoxious of it, frankly. Level 71 is what the monsters on this floor are. Have fun with that. That must be a ticket that robbed him at some point. Yep, there it goes. There is a nice little pita fruit. Yeah, this is more or less as, is anything terrible going to happen to Wugga to stop him from reaching 99? That is the question. And even so, is there enough time to try to make up that difference? 25 floors in 15 minutes would be pushing it, and I just don't think Chai's playstyle has that. Chai's playstyle could unquestionably reach 99 if something happened to Wugga. The problem is that Chai's playstyle probably could not reach 99 in 15 minutes from where he is now. And that is the only thing that would stop Wugga from getting there. There's an elevator for 96. Not much further now, folks. Oh, this is a bad room. This is a very bad room. Luckily, he can chuck some spiders out the door. Ooh, that also could have been really bad. And now we're walking away. Egg! It's been a while since I've looked at an egg with joy. Yeah, that would have been a very scary failed warp trap. Another barong, but it does not matter. Here is floor 98. It's just one step further now. Synchronized gambling. It's funny how there were like no barongs at the beginning of this tower except the one we put in, but loads at the end. Funny that. Chai, that was a silly dance you just did. Wugga getting a little surrounded. There we are, floor 99. I forget if you have to clear it for 9. GG, match to what? Gee, that is game, set, and match. I always forget if for rule purposes, if you need to clear it for it to count as clear, or if it's just clear by itself. Also, man, acid rainball's no longer sufficient. True, nice was 30 floors ago. But I think it most likely does not really matter all that much. Oh no. But I think that still counts as a clear, doesn't it? Good run. Like, I suppose technically one could get higher by clearing 99, but you know, it's 250. Okay, that counts as a clear. Yeah, he can't get to 99 first. He could technically get to 99 plus 1 first, but I think we'll call that a clear. There has to be a limit to these things, otherwise you could just repeat that floor forever. So I will be heading to take a small restroom break and then getting them in for interviews. There we go. I will be right back. Okay, I am back. Czaj, I think, will be joining us in just a moment. And then Wugga will also be joining us in just a moment. But in the meanwhile, get your questions ready. Hello, Czaj, GG.
Hello, hello.
That U-boat floor.
Oh yeah, that was a fun one.
Yeah, that was a nightmare. A few people were wondering about if that made you regret the Picket Fusion a little bit.
Oh no, not at all, not at all. Picket Fusion is always the best anyways. Dancing may seem like it's a little bit harder because it's not so straightforward, but still it gives you the possibility of, you know, leaving monsters behind, including U-boat when it's synced. So yeah, definitely Picket. Good fusion.
Yeah. It was really fun watching some of your manipulations there. There were some really impressive ones. GG, congrats to you, Wugga.
Congratulations, Wugga. GG.
Thanks, Czaj. GG.
I'm so happy that you cleared. I'm really, really happy that you cleared.
Yeah, well, that makes two of us.
Well, I didn't, but yeah, I guess you're happy here too. So tell me, how did you clear it?
Just Scarlet Wand Cune. I didn't get any good fusions, didn't find a stream one, so it was just that, just Fire Cune all the way through. Lots of good inventory.
Yeah.
I was keeping 50-50 C-seed for like 70-80 floors in my inventory, hoping for that stream wand. In the end, I didn't find it, but I was like, okay, I've got so much like inventory. I've got more good items coming, and I'm keeping a seed that is possibly a C seed. It could have been Tovar seed as well. I was like, okay, screw it, just like feed it. And yeah, I turned Cuny water. I kept Scarlet Wand, but I had a Picket Fusion. So basically my Cuny was anyways super powerful. So, you know, being water made sense with like bazillions of balls in inventory. I think most of them were fire.
Yeah. I had a spell balls galore for this one. It was fantastic.
Spell balls and eggs. So many eggs.
Oh yeah. How many eggs did you check? Because I checked only one.
I hatched a barong, because I figured that's probably a barong, so I just used it for a while. Oh wait, was that my practice run? No. I'm mixing
that was a
things up.
different one. You
Yeah.
hatched a Newell,
A Newell,
a
yeah.
snowman, and I think you identified a viper.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, the snowman. I actually figured I'm gonna use him. I kept him in my inventory for the longest time, figuring if I find a wind seed, then I can use paralysis. So that never worked out. But
Yeah, if you're, for example, pincered in a one-tile hallway, you know, having the ability to paralyze doesn't really help you much.
yeah.
I had a situation like that where I was like, Batnel was coming from one side and Glacier from the other. I was still fire and like, what to do here, right? I've got like plenty of balls, but I didn't have any item. I had one Geropida, so I had to like figure out what to do there. That was a fun situation.
How far did you get?
When Deme called it, I was like 78, 79, but I presume like, you know, taking into account that there is a delay, probably I was around 76, 77 when you cleared.
That's still very admirable, I think. I would have been happy with that.
You two were very close. I was within 3 to 5 floors of each other until one particular floor where Chai just could not escape the U-boats and spent 10, 20 minutes on it.
Oh dear.
Yeah, all the U-boats were submerged, and you know, my CUNY was still fire at the time, I want to say.
Yeah.
And I just couldn't get to that elevator. When I started that floor, the elevator was in the top right. I think I started bottom down, and I was going in that direction. But then I found, oh, 2 monsters are going in the direction. Okay, I'm gonna turn around and search somewhere else. And that was my mistake. I should have probably like dealt with those 2 monsters because I had means to deal with it, and then you know check the room. But in hindsight, you know everyone's smart, so. But yeah, then I was walking like between, okay, there is a U-boat on this side, there is a U-boat on this side. So, you know, like keep CUNY in the room while you exit, then like make CUNY exit. Maybe the monster will turn out. They did. If they didn't, then I was trying to like keep create a space between myself and the monster, because again, my CUNY had picket fusion, so we can, you know, do this turn manipulation where the monsters loses a turn very, very easily. So, oh yeah, like plenty of fun things. In the end, I was like, okay, I was pincered by U-boats and Garudas, and I had to like take a hit. Then I was not allowed to take any other hit. Lots of funny things happened, and that soft lock actually happened on that floor. So one more thing that we can add to the soft lock: if CUNY has a quick trade and is abducted by Garuda, it's a soft lock.
Yeah, I think I've come across that before, actually.
Yeah, I didn't know about this one.
Always some fun to be had with Azure Dreams.
Oh yeah.
A perfectly programmed game.
Exactly.
But like with just CUNY and no like other things, 251, that's a really great time, I want to say.
Yeah, I'm happy with that. Obviously, just clearing the tower. I played it very, very safe all the way, trying to keep up CUNY with the levels and such. But a whole bunch of Baron gambling, obviously, too. I was wondering, I wanted to actually...
Only at the end, which is curious.
Yeah, I think Chai has already been crowned the ultimate gambler in the tournament. I really wanted to one-up him on that.
I really hope that the crown was taken away in this match. When I'm going to rewatch it, and if I hear them as saying, "Oh, Chai has a gambling addiction," I'm gonna like rage here, because I didn't this time. Like I think I played with 2-3 barongs, but
You definitely did not. You definitely resisted, which was the right thing to do in that moment. I was a little worried when they popped up on Wugga's side and was like, "Oh dear, this might be an obstacle for Chai," but it wasn't. Good job.
Yeah. Like I basically just usually exhausted their MP so that I would have some kind of boomerang for blocking. I didn't really play with them because, again, inventory was really great. I didn't really have to use much of the inventory thanks to the fact that like CUNY was able to fight pretty much everything. and helped with the AI tree. So yeah, I had like plenty of balls that I didn't even identify. Plenty of tree hard balls that are always good.
Yeah.
I just don't know what they are. I've got like 5 unidentified tree hard balls.
At least a couple of them are blinder balls. Wugga identified most of them.
Probably I
Yeah.
should have identified that, because blinder is something that I definitely missed. I had sleep, I had bind, and blind is, you know, another amazing one to like help you with certain situations.
Yeah, I had 2 blinders by the end of it at some point. But that's why I want to identify the 3 hard ones as quickly as possible, because if it's Ice Rock, that's probably the worst of the lot, right? But
Yeah.
I still find one. I made great use of it. I think I used just about every trick in the book that I could come up with during this one. It was really enjoyable.
Yeah, that was a really fun tower. Definitely something recommended if somebody feels like playing some speed. That is a nice one. Not too powerful, but not too easy either. Especially those rooms, like for example, I presume that you cleared in the first entry, right?
Yep.
Yeah. So I presume you had that room, like, I don't know, 4 green units in the spawn room, in a very small room, and few other rooms like that were like, what to do.
Yeah, there was definitely
Poisoned most of them, which was fun to watch.
Oh, I don't think that I found poison ball.
You didn't identify it, I think.
I don't think that you have to identify poison, because poison is unique in that sense. It has 5 cards.
Maybe not then.
No, it isn't. Fire fire also has.
But fire you already have from the start, so you rename it. So that's why I called it poison is unique. You know, unless you, of course, gambled with the fireball, which I doubt you did.
No, I made some good uses of the poison ball in some tougher rooms. With I think a couple of sabers at least were sleeping at some point, so I figured, hey, may as well whittle down their HP and just run away.
Yeah, exactly. Poison is definitely useful. Almost everything in this game has use.
Yeah, there's a niche for all things, I would say. You made an Earth Shield work for you for a while.
Oh yeah, I'm very happy with that Earth Shield. Like, I don't know why people hate on Earth Shield. If like I got truth glasses from the Barong on first floor, and I've decided to keep them and start gambling with other items. Because, you know, truth is useful. You can maybe identify a CC, maybe you can identify some useful equipment. And for me, I had few choices for the truth glasses, but I decided to go with the Earth Shield because, if it's not cursed, it's gonna be definitely useful.
You are kidding me. I did the exact same thing.
Oh, did you now?
I had an Earth Shield and I figured I'm going to shield juggle. But yeah, I came across truth glasses, so I immediately used it on the Earth Shield. I don't think I ever used it because my inventory was bloated. But
I kept it, I think, for like 40 or 50 floors, because around 40, 50 is a place where you don't want to get hit at all. So it doesn't matter whether it's Earth Shield or not. You just don't want to get hit. So like until that, whenever there was because my idea was like this: against fire monsters, Scarlet Wand is enough. Wind monsters, of course, no problem at all. Water monsters may be a little bit of a problem where I will need to take a hit. So why not use Earth Shield, which will let me fight at even easier pace? And it definitely paid off because there were like quite many water monsters early on. So yeah, I don't regret at all this decision.
Yeah, that was my idea as well. Just I had such a bloated inventory that I gave up on it pretty early on.
I kept it for quite long.
I think that about covers it. Any final comments?
Thank you so much, Deme, for the commentary. Thanks, Wugga, for the badge. I wish you luck in your rematch against Shoni.
Thank you.
And yeah, it's gonna be fun to both rewatch this match and watch potentially 2 more final matches.
Yeah, that'll be fun to see.
Oh boy, can't wait.
Well, be sure to follow our runners. Be sure to give me a follow. Thanks to all the folks at SpeedGaming. Check out our Discord. Hydrate and remember to eat your vegetables. That, I think, about covers it. So I will see y'all next time. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Peace out. Bye.